are many tragedies in the story of Aileen Wuornos. First, when Aileen was arrested, she claimed that her murders were in self-defense, and then she admitted to her murders were in cold blood, and then she claimed that they were in self-defense again, and then she claimed that the government knew that she was a lean, mean, killing machine and just let her murder. So needless to say, she was a little bit cuckoo pants. In the months leading up to her execution, Aileen went full tinfoil hat. You think I'm a crazy conspiracy lady? I am. I ain't nothing compared to end of life Aileen. As you'll see in her last words, she became super Jesus-y, which I will not give an opinion about because I fear the comment section. I'd just like to say I'm sailing with the rock. I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus, June 6th. Like the movie, big mothership and all, I'll be back. What? Pearl Hart was born Lindsay. There's nothing important to this story. It's just that her name was Lindsay and then she changed it to Pearl, which I get because Lindsay is not an intimidating name.
Pearl, is that more intimidating?
Yeah, sounds like a grandmother, which frightens me. At age 17, Pearl married a Chicago gambler, but it turned out that he was abusive towards her and she divorced him at 22. This may seem like a blip in history, but if you know anything about the late 1800s, you know that it was not a kind time to women. Divorce was heavily looked down upon and abuse towards women was ignored or sometimes even celebrated. There was no putting Pearl in line, and she quickly moved that boy to the left and married another man named Joe Boot. Like he just looked down and he was like, that's my name. She and Boot turned to a life of crime. Pearl would lure men to her room and then rob them at gunpoint. Pearl quickly moved on to higher stakes game. She and Boot started robbing stagecoaches. It was notable because she was the second woman ever to rob a stagecoach and the first woman ever to not die doing it. She also decided to give the people she was robbing money for food and shelter because Pearl is a goddamn sweetheart. Unfortunately, Pearl got caught, but when she was arrested, she said one of the most badass feminist things I have ever had the privilege to read. I shall not consent to be tried under a law in which my sex had no voice in making. Oh man, sound familiar, healthcare? Ow, my uterus hurts, it's your fault. Sorry. America's gonna kill me. Do I look sexy? Mileena is a bad bitch and I love everything about her finisher. She lures in the men. She goes, ooh, let me tell you a secret. She eats them. She spits out the bones, just like you deserve, men. Just kidding. I mean, you're fine. I like a lot of men. A lot of men. I've been through a lot this episode and I think that we can all agree that I deserve some comeuppance. And can I please be Mileena?
Okay, just this one.
Yeah! I get to eat you. I get to eat your souls and your bodies.
Just the one.
Let's do this. Punch! Punch! Watch this. If you're confused if a man is just an eccentric artist or a murderous serial killer, check to see if he has a swastika carved into his forehead. Despite being a complete and utter egghead, Charles Manson convinced many, many people to sleep with him in and out of jail. Manson's big ideas about free love and individuality and the man, bruh, ensured that many troubled women would flock to him, and one in particular sure as shit did. Aileen Burton, or Star as Charles Manson renamed her. Star met Manson in 1997 when she was 19 years old. Honey, call your mom, she misses you. Star started visiting Charles in jail and even carved an X into her forehead to match Charles's swastika. How cute. Later on, she admitted to the press that she and Manson were planning a wedding. When Charles Manson was asked about this, he was like, what? Soon enough, it came out in the press that Star was just using Charles Manson for his body and not in a cool, sexy way. Her plan was to marry Charles Manson and then get his body when he died so she could parade it around the country and world probably and sell tickets to see the infamous killer. Gross! People freaked out about this. They were so shocked that she could dare do this to Charles Manson, America's sweetheart. Anyway, Star's still around. She's no longer with Charles, that poor scorned soul. And, she's probably looking for some other guy to use the dead body of to make money. I don't know. Is that a thing that people do? She should be a butcher. Griselda Blanco is a boss. Griselda, the Black Widow, was a Colombian drug lord who invented the motorcycle drive-by. Her sadism was legendary. She used to hold people at gunpoint, members of her cartel, her employees, and make them have sex in front of her just because she liked to see people be embarrassed and feel shame. Some poetic justice is that she was murdered by her own device. Somebody motorcycled by her and shot her twice in the head. She's evil and terrible, but my word, was that woman a trailblazer. Oh my God, a man fell into a pool of acid and his whole body boiled off and they came to rescue him, but it was nothing left. It was just pool of blood. Oh, and his sister recorded it. In essence, a man visiting the Yellowstone National Park fell into a hot spring, and then his body became the hot spring, in that his body dissolved because of all the acid, and his sister caught the whole thing on a phone. Why are you filming while he is dying? Unless it's her plan all along. Oh my God, somebody call Cold Case. Kenneth Bianchi was half of the Hillside Strangler duo who killed 12 women by, you guessed it, strangulation. And the details of these murders are so horrifying, we're just gonna skip right past them and get straight to Veronica Compton. Veronica Compton was a young writer working on a screenplay about a female serial killer when she became just fascinated by the Strangler case. Unlike the other women on this list, Veronica knew full well that Bianchi was guilty, and that was so hot to her. They started a correspondence when she sent him her screenplay and asked for notes on how to make the murders more realistic. Keep in mind, Kenneth Bianchi is a total maniac, so I'm assuming his notes were a lot like, more blood, see me after class! While I totally support couples having a hobby together, maybe try something like pottery, or trivia, or not murder. Together, they came up with a plot to confuse police and make them believe that the Strangler was still at large. So she smuggled his semen out of prison in a plastic glove and then murdered somebody and then planted the semen at the crime scene. She completely botched the job and left DNA everywhere. So she ended up going to prison, but here's the kicker. When she was incarcerated, dumped his ass, and then fell in love with another serial killer. Haha, love's a bitch, Bianchi. Suck it. Pregnant woman for man, 31, your van at Super Walmart. Please note, there's no city or state, just your van at the Super Walmart. Good luck finding your prince, sweetheart. You had a really nice cock. So I let you have me without a condom. I know you're the father because all my other partners wore condoms last month, and I'm going to keep it. Please email me if you'd like to have contact with your child. There are a lot of lessons to be learned here. Deconstruct with me, if you will. You, a 31-year-old woman, had sex with a stranger inside of a minivan in the parking lot of a Super Walmart without a condom. You do not want this man in your life. I hope you raise that Walmart baby to be a distinguished, condom-wearing gentleman who has sex in beds, not Walmart parking lots. In 1820, Lavinia Fisher and her husband committed a series of murders in a bar that they owned together, which would be super cute family-owned business if not for all the murder. But alas, murder. She and her husband were sent to the gallows for their crimes. And while her hubby was busy crying and begging the crowd for forgiveness, and by crowd, I mean the entire town watched you get executed because I guess TV wasn't a thing, which seems super boring and I get it. So anyway, while her husband was pleading for his poor unfortunate soul, Lavinia, the bad bitch that she is, looked at the crowd and said, if any of you have a message for the devil, tell me quick, I'm about to meet him. What? That's so metal. Bad on you for killing people, but very dope thing to say. And oh my God, Levins, I have so many questions for Satan. Like, firstly, do sigils work? Secondly, did you create Hot Topic? Thirdly, will you be my father? Also, Lavinia didn't just wait to be hanged, she jumped her ass off that platform and hanged herself. Listen, I don't agree with your actions in life, Lavinia, but you left that party like a legend. Guess what? Mary Belle was 11. Holy shit. So the day before Mary Belle's 11th birthday, she murdered a 4-year-old boy. While Mary Belle committed the first murder alone, she and her friend Norma, no relation, same last name, both evil little girls, committed the second murder of a 3-year-old together. The 3-year-old boy died of strangulation. After he died, they mutilated his body by carving an M with scissors into his stomach. This is so dark. I feel like this is darker than anything I've ever done. She and her friend vandalized a preschool saying, "We did this murder," and the police dismissed it as a prank. At least look into it, guys. So when Mary Belle was in prison, her mother, the monster that she is, sold stories about her childhood and also plagiarized some writing and said that it was from Mary Belle and then published it in newspapers. Everybody's the worst. Mary Belle was released from prison in 1980 after serving 12 years. She, by all intents and purposes, is living a very normal life. She is now living under a new name. She had kids. Those kids had kids. She's a fucking grandmother. Mary Belle found love. What am I doing? You talk about Satan 3 times and nobody fucking wants to date you. You can murder a 3-year-old and now you have grandkids? How is that fair? Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Please like it. Please comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you want me to talk about next week. Subscribe to Snarled, watch these other videos, and guess what? Go to our Instagram and our Twitter page @WeAreSnarled. You can get a bunch of stickers, you can get a bunch of pins, you can be part of our #street team. Also, if you're a child murderer watching this, we're on the same team. Hey, I just want to talk to you. Please don't kill me. Thank you.